My name is Kevin R. I am a writer and photographer working in corporate America, but I have a serious case of wanderlust. Together with my brother Jeff, our goal is to take time every year to see a different corner of the world. Join us as we explore new latitudes.
So I'm here in Ushuaia, Tierra del Fuego, in the southern part of Argentina. We're headed to the most isolated, driest, coldest, and snowiest place on Earth. I'm on the Russian ship, the academic Sergei Vavilov, and we're about to pull out of Ushuaia. Join me on our journey to Antarctica.
I start my journey in Grand Rapids, Michigan, connecting through New York's Newark Airport on my journey to Buenos Aires. I then fly from Argentina's capital to Ushuaia, capital of Tierra del Fuego province. The next evening, I cruise from Ushuaia on a 2-day sailing to the Antarctic Peninsula. After 4 days in Antarctica, I enjoy a day in the South Shetland Islands before the 2-day sailing back across the Drake Passage to Cape Horn and my return flight to the United States.
Welcome to Ushuaia, the southernmost city in the world. Ready to get on my cruise this afternoon on the expedition ship from Ushuaia.
Avenida San Martin, which runs like a main artery through the heart of Ushuaia, offers shops with trekking gear and guides hawking adventure tours. A memorial commemorates the Argentine soldiers who died in the Malvinas, or Falklands War. In the bloodiest incident, the British Navy torpedoed and sank the Argentine battleship General Belgrano, whose victims are among those honored by the Eternal Torch. On December 8th, we board the academic Sergei Vavilov in Ushuaia. The Sergei Vavilov and its sister ship, the academic Iafi, are ice-strengthened research vessels originally built by the Soviet Academy of Science near the end of the Cold War. As expedition ships, both vessels offer activities some cruises do not, such as sea kayaking and onshore camping.
So welcome to the academic Sergei Vavilov. I want to show you my room on board. This is pretty impressive. So we're in room 450. It's a top bunk, which folds out, and then we have the bottom one. So we're on the 4th floor of the Sergei Vavilov, and I'll take you on a quick tour of the ship. Now we're approaching deck 3, which is the deck of the restaurant and some other amenities. So here we are on the restaurant floor, and there is a mud room. There's a gift shop on this floor. I'll take you down to the mud room.
As late evening approaches, we cruise past Isla Navarino, that cradles Puerto Williams,
Chile's southerly city, which also claims to be the southernmost city in the world. Crossing the Drake Passage, considered the roughest strait in the world, is a long 2-day or more journey into the unforgiving Southern Ocean. To prepare for arrival in Antarctica, our adventure guides from One Ocean Expeditions present programs highlighting topics such as glaciology, history, photography, birds, landing protocol, and the Antarctic Treaty.
Back out of the valley, you'll see beautiful U-shaped valleys as opposed to a V-shaped valley. A V-shaped valley is typically what a river would cut, and glaciers, because they're solid and just deforming, would push a wider trough through that valley.
Sunglasses, lip balm, sunscreen. We're at very high latitudes, the days are exceptionally long, the ozone layer is thin in the polar regions, and we're basically hanging out on a giant mirror the entire time. We're on snow or water. There's a lot of reflection. If it's snowing and cloudy, put on sunscreen.
There is also downtime for leisure with a fully stocked bar offering stunning ocean views from the top deck.
So when you come to Antarctica, it's absolutely essential to have proper gear. This is standard foul weather gear. Just kind of fastens up like this. You have a sturdy pair of Wellington boots. These are all-weather boots, waterproof. Of course, lastly, it's just as important to stay warm in your core, your upper body.
Hello, I'm Boris. I'm the expedition leader here for One Ocean Expeditions on the academic Sergei Vavilov. It's our second trip of the year. It's December. There's still lots of snow out there. Today we're going to be sailing by Smith Island on our way to Andrews Island for our first excursion of the day tomorrow in Fournier Bay.
After crossing the Antarctic convergence, we spot our first solitary iceberg, observe some lazy penguins, and feel a noticeable drop in temperature. A sweeping contrast of radiant white glaciers duel with dramatic clouds to welcome us to Antarctica and leaving us at a loss of words.
Any words, Jeff?
Zodiac boats take some passengers on tours of Fournier Bay, while Jeff and I slip into dry suits, skirts, and kayaks. Enormous icebergs dwarf our kayaks, drawing us in for a view.
Humpback whale off our stern.
I reflect on a quote from Admiral Richard Byrd. I felt as though I'd been plumped on another planet or another geologic horizon of which man had no knowledge or memory. After returning our kayaks back on board the Sergei Vavilov, Captain Beluga and his crew diligently maneuvered the ship out of Fournier Bay and Andrews Island southward on our journey to Dorian Bay on Winkie Island.
Just left Fournier Bay and we're on our way to Dorian Bay. I have a little bit of snow showers, a little bit of flurries going on, but we're getting excited about doing a little bit more kayaking this afternoon.
During the afternoon, we land by Zodiac craft at Des Moines Point, the site of an Argentine seasonal base and its famous Gentoo penguin colony that overlooks Dorian Bay. Our two resident scientists on board from the Antarctic Environmental Group, Oceanites, count the Gentoo population and make scientific observations about their nesting and living habitats. Our first encounter with penguins in Antarctica leaves us amazed at their sociability and curiosity with humans.
After a memorable first day in Antarctica, The second is going to be even better as we arrive at Paradise Harbor. Navigating through a maze of ice, broken like slivers of glass, we turn our rudders and paddles south past the ethereal landscape surrounding Argentina's Almirante Brown Research Station. Well, I'm standing in Paradise Harbor, and it's hard to make sense of all of this. It's just too big to comprehend. It's so vast. Glaciers thousands of years old stretch as far and deep as the eye can see in all directions. That afternoon, we anchor in Nico Harbor for our very first landing on the Antarctic continent. Hundreds of Gentoo penguins call Nico Harbor their home, living together in a colony along the snowy shore. With a pair of snowshoes, I trek above the penguins for a simply jaw-dropping view of Nico Harbor and the Sergei Vavilov below. Well, it's Wednesday, December 12th, the day of the Mayan apocalypse, and as you can see, the beauty still surrounds us, so we're still standing. It is then time for a test, plunging body and soul into the icy Antarctic waters. Back on board the Sergei Vavilov, we sail for the night's big adventure, abandoning ship to sleep on Rangi Island. Camping our first night on the ice. We're digging ourselves a snow trench for our bivy bags, and gonna try to get a good night's sleep, but it's coming along pretty well because it's kind of grooming flat like this.
This is how to make your sleeping side a little bit longer when you find out that it's too short.
The next morning, we sail to Orne Harbor in Wilhelmina Bay.
Here we are at the edge of the pack ice. This is as far as we can get into the bay. The captain stopped here to let us take a look.
With the ship's bow parked on the ice, we board the Zodiacs for penguin and leopard seal spotting along the ice pack. Suddenly, a family of humpback whales eating a harvest of krill peacefully greet us and the kayakers. Upon return to the Vavilov, we feast on a barbecue cooked on the stern of the ship, complete with sunshine and reggae music.
We begin the 7th day of our adventure with a final landing on the Antarctic Peninsula at Sierra Cove. We kayak past otherworldly ice formations and iceberg arches some the size of cathedrals. In the afternoon, we pull anchor and cruise to Mickelson Harbor on Trinity Island. Then, the sun suddenly emerges, basking the glaciers and snow in its light. As we sail away from the Antarctic continent for the last time, the mountains glow and bid us Godspeed. Our final day in Antarctica takes us to the South Shetland Islands. We enjoy the warmest weather of the trip, which ends with a celebratory frigid swim.
Here I am at the end of my journey to the frozen continent of Antarctica, and it really just blows my mind at this place. I can't quite get my head around it and grasp the inhospitable side. And then on a perfectly blue sky like today with some clouds, you start to understand why these great explorers risk their lives to come here. And whether you believe in climate change that is man-made, caused or not, there's no doubt that Antarctica is changing. And you should come here to this unbelievable place.
Sadly, we say goodbye to our penguin friends and gaze upon the South Shetlands and Antarctica for the last time as they slowly slip beyond the horizon. 2 days later, we marvel at the tip of South America appearing in the distance at Cape Horn. We celebrate the good fortune of our remarkable journey.